What's up, guys? I'm Kuma, and I feel like such an idiot right now. I had no idea this painted power perk existed, and this fight would have gone way faster had I known. This is a fight you do post-game. You get this perk once you begin Act 3, and my dumbass was trying to clear as much content as I could before I completed Act 2. So please save yourself the struggle and actually complete Act 2 before fighting Sprong. Before I show you the fight, I'll show you the build I was using. Maelle managed to solo roughly 70% of the boss before the rest of my expedition cleaned up. I'll go over her build briefly. Starting with the weapon, I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation, but I chose the Stalum. Or based off all the French aesthetics of the game, it's probably pronounced Stalum. But anyways, I use this weapon because of its passive to burn myself every turn and gain a damage boost per burn stack. And as long as I was in defensive stance during my self burn procs, I would get healed instead. I chose this weapon for sustain, but I later learned that sustain doesn't really matter in this fight, as Sprong's attacks hit harder as the fight goes on, and I get one shot by anything if I mess up. Next for the Pictos. As you can see, I heavily invested everything into Maelle's luminous points. My main 3 Pictos were chosen for their health, defense, and speed numbers. As for the Pictos I used my luminous points on, just know that Maelle takes advantage of all the solo Picto perks. I have a 100% crit chance while solo, I gain the powerful buff for another 25% damage while I'm solo, and I use the solo fighter for 50% more damage while I'm solo. I also get shells too. The other Pictos I use just amplify everything or add more sustain to the build. I won't be going in depth, but you can copy what I have equipped if you'd like. The build I'm currently working on post game, I've managed to get 600,000 damage in one turn, and I think I can get it to 1,000,000. So I'll make a guide for that video later on if I can get the build up and running. I have Maelle partied up with Monoco because I'm trying to go around and collect Monoco's skills, but as soon as the fight starts, he has the auto kill Picto equipped so he just dies, but he blows up and deals crazy damage to all the enemies and gives Maelle enough AP for her to start the fight with max AP. He also gives a few other things, but yeah, take a look at everything that happens as soon as the fight starts. So now for the fight. I'm not going to post the entire 45-minute fight, as that would be way too long of a video, but I'll talk little by little about my build and how I play it. It's helped me use Maelle to solo almost all content in the game so far. Starting off with the fight, Monoco explodes and we get all of our buffs. With 9 AP, I use one of Maelle's strongest attacks that costs 9 AP, her Sword Ballet. It's a multi-hitting attack, so as of right now, it's my best source of damage if I can get every hit to hit for 10,000. I try my best to alternate between stances, because being in defensive stance and using a move that switches you to defensive stance again will just leave you stanceless. But because I have so many damage buffs on Maelle, she can still hit 10,000 damage per hit on her Sword Ballet no matter what stance she's in. If I take a hit and survive, I keep cool and just parry to regain some health, and I gain a massive amount of health back if I counter. So early on in the fights, mistakes can be made and I should be able to survive, but later on my parries have to be perfect. If I'm in a situation where I have 7 AP, I use my gradient attack to get 8 AP, and suddenly it's the start of my turn again, and I gain 1 AP at the start of my turn, so now I'm at 9 AP, and I can use Maelle's Sword Ballet again. 50,000 damage was the most I could do per turn, not including the burn damage, so I slowly whittled down Sprong. I eventually die at one point, but I have the second chance Pictos, which brings me back to life, and then I whittle him down some more. Sprong doesn't get any new attacks as his health bar goes down, but his current attacks change slightly. When you take away a third of his health, his 1-hit slam on the arena becomes a 2-hit slam. His 3-hit combo becomes a 5-hit combo. When you take 2/3 of his health bar out, his 2-hit slam becomes a 3-hit slam, and his 5-hit combo becomes a 7-hit combo. and his laser beam attack. I think that changes rhythm and has additional blasts, but I don't know. That laser attack was the hardest part of this fight. The timings are so tight, and I couldn't even pay attention to how many lasers he was shooting at me. But anyways, it was my first time getting Sprong to 1/3 of his health bar, and I saw his altered attacks for my first time. I had to learn the parry timings as fast as possible, because if I didn't survive, I wasn't going to give up. And the rest of my party, which aren't even built properly, were going to have to finish Sprong. And of course, that happened, and I had to lock in with my remaining party members. Luckily, we managed thanks to all the revives I had available to me. I managed to parry enough to keep someone alive and bring others back. We eventually succeeded, and yeah, the fight was over. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider subscribing. If you're also doing a solo build, leave me a comment down below and tell me what you're running so I can try it. Thank you guys. Take care.